In a recent heartfelt interview that quickly spread across social media, beloved TV icon Al Roker opened up for the first time about what really went wrong in his marriage to longtime partner Deborah Roberts. Gone was the cheerful weatherman's grin that millions of viewers had grown to love every morning on The Today Show. Instead, audiences saw a man reflecting deeply, not as a television personality, but as a husband, a father, and a human being who had weathered one of life's toughest storms. Al began by saying softly, "People think they know us because they see us smiling on screen every day, but the truth is, what happens behind closed doors is far more complicated." He went on to admit that fame, distance, and the demanding pace of their careers slowly created a quiet divide, an invisible wall that neither of them noticed until it was too late. While Deborah's life revolved around hard-hitting journalism, interviews, and meaningful reporting at ABC News, Al's world was one of early call times, cross-country weather coverage, and the relentless rhythm of morning television. Al confessed, "We loved each other deeply, but love alone doesn't fix everything. It takes time, patience, and understanding. Somewhere along the way, we lost that balance." According to those close to the couple, Al and Deborah's decision to separate wasn't sudden or impulsive. It was a long, painful process marked by honest conversations, therapy sessions, and emotional exhaustion. During his time away from the spotlight, Al reportedly spent long, quiet weeks reflecting at home, while Deborah poured herself into her work and her close circle of friends. He admitted that distance gave him perspective, but also painful clarity. "You realize the things you took for granted," he said. "The little moments, the coffee talks, the laughter after long days, those are what really hold a marriage together. When they start to fade, it hurts more than words can explain." For a man whose career was built on optimism and warmth, the vulnerability in his voice took everyone by surprise. He went on, "It's not easy living under a microscope. People expect you to smile, to always be cheerful, but sometimes you just can't anymore. Sometimes the person on TV and the person at home become two very different people." Those words resonated deeply with viewers, especially those who have followed Al's decades-long career. Social media quickly lit up with messages of support and empathy. One fan wrote, "You could see the pain in his eyes. This wasn't the TV Al we know. This was the real man behind the smile." Another commented, "It takes strength to admit when something isn't working, even when the world is watching." Meanwhile, insiders revealed that Deborah has chosen to keep a low profile since the separation, focusing on her work, her children, and maintaining stability. Those who know her say she's been leaning into what she does best, telling stories of resilience, compassion, and truth, while quietly living out her own version of those same themes. One close friend shared, "Deborah's not bitter, she's reflective. She's putting her energy into things that bring her peace. That's who she's always been, strong, graceful, and dignified." Still, sources close to the family say she was caught off guard by Al's public openness. Known for her professionalism and privacy, Deborah had chosen silence, hoping to navigate the transition away from public scrutiny. But despite their different approaches, there is a shared respect, a quiet understanding between two people who once built a life together and are now learning to walk separate paths with grace. During the interview, Al didn't shy away from accountability. He admitted that he could have communicated better, that perhaps in his effort to juggle career, health, and family, he lost sight of emotional connection. He said softly, "I think sometimes we assume that love is enough, but relationships take work, even after decades together. Life gets busy, and before you know it, you've grown apart without even realizing it." Those words struck a chord not just with fans, but with countless couples who saw a reflection of their own lives in his honesty. In a moment that many viewers called heartbreaking but hopeful, Al clarified that there's no bitterness between them. He said, "Deborah is an incredible woman, smart, kind, and dedicated. No matter what happens, she'll always be someone I admire and care for deeply." It was a rare glimpse of humility and grace, a side of Al Roker that fans don't often see. Following the broadcast, messages poured in from celebrities, colleagues, and longtime fans alike. Fellow Today Show hosts praised him for his bravery and emotional honesty. One co-host was even quoted saying, "That's just Al, he's always real, he doesn't hide behind fame." So where does this leave Al and Deborah now? For now, both seem to be focusing on healing in their own ways. Deborah remains dedicated to her work and her advocacy for women in journalism. Al, meanwhile, is embracing a quieter life when he's off-screen, spending time writing, walking, and reconnecting with family and close friends. A source close to him said, "Al's learning to slow down. For so many years, his life was a whirlwind. Now he's discovering what peace feels like again." It's clear that, despite the heartbreak, there's no animosity, only mutual respect and a sense of acceptance. For longtime fans of the couple, their journey serves as a reminder that even the strongest relationships face seasons of change, and that sometimes letting go with grace is its own kind of love. As one fan beautifully wrote online, "They taught us what partnership looks like, and now they're teaching us what dignity looks like when life takes a different turn." At the heart of it all, Al Roker's story isn't just about loss. It's about honesty, growth, and the courage to start over. And for Deborah Roberts, it's about finding peace and purpose, rediscovering her own voice, and continuing to inspire millions through her grace and professionalism. Their paths may no longer run parallel, but their legacy, built on love, respect, and resilience, remains something truly rare in today's world. Because sometimes, even after love changes form, it never really disappears. It just transforms into gratitude.